So hello everyone, here I am with today's The Hindu Editorial of 13th September 2021. Before we move further on to read the editorial, let us have a quick glance over the new words that we're going to come across in this session. The first one is helm. It means steer. That means to be the head of something and to direct and govern something. Intrigue is arouse the curiosity or interest of, fascinate. Something that fascinates you or makes you more curious, that's called intrigue. Starkly, it is and in an unpleasant or sharp, clear way. That is to say something in a very direct and unpleasant manner. Restive, that means unable to remain still or silent. That means you're becoming very restless and there can be various reasons behind it. Veteran is a person who has had a long experience in a particular field. That means you're well experienced and are specialist in that specific field. Standoff is a deadlock between two equally matched opponents. So that means deadlock is a situation where you cannot come to a final conclusion because as here it's mentioned that the opponents or the witnesses something that's presented, they are equally powerful and equally important. Resenting is to feel angry about something because you think it's unfair. So to become angry or annoyed on something because you think the way it has been done or whatever it has been done, that's done in an unfair manner and justice has not been provided. So today's article is read as a Patel at the helm, that is on the top or as the governor, on charge of a guard in Gujarat. So of guard is basically the CM, that is the chief minister of a specific place. So here there has been a change in the chief minister of Gujarat and a Patel has been appointed as the head this time. The BJP is once again willing to accommodate dominant caste groups. So it's saying that once again we can witness that BJP is trying to play politics and is appointing leaders of that specific caste in that region where that caste is in majority to gain popularity and support. Effecting the fourth change of guard in a state this year, the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) replaced Vijay Rupani with Bhupendra Patel as Chief Minister in Gujarat on Sunday. So this year, this is the fourth time that the Chief Minister of Gujarat has been changed, and this time Vijay Rupani, he is that person, has been replaced by Bhupendra Patel as the Chief Minister, and this happened on the last Sunday, that was yesterday. Though the decision came out of the blue, intrigues that led to it had been gaining momentum for a while. So to come out of a blue is to happen suddenly or without any prior information or indications. So this change in the CM happened without any prior information, and there has been a lot of curiosity in the minds of generalists and citizens as well that why did this happen. To keep it all under the wrap, the government in Gujarat went so far as arresting and sending to jail a journalist under sedition charges for reporting that a change of guard was on the cards. So here it's saying to keep in wraps is to keep everything under control and to cover everything. So to do this, the government has crossed a lot of its limits and they have started even arresting journalists, saying that they have committed a sedition charge. That is, they have conducted or there has been a speech that has incited people to rebel against the government. And the speech that the journalist gave was that this change of government was on the card, that it was for sure, and there were some indications as well. So the claim that this journalist came was just this, and now he has been arrested under sedition charges. Patel or Patidars have been the backbone of BJP in Gujarat, but the elevation of Narendra Modi as Chief Minister in 2001 unsettled the cozy relation between the community and the party. So if you look in Gujarat, the BJP is the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the current government in Gujarat, and the Patels, which are in majority, are the backbone. That means they are the supporters of BJP in Gujarat. But In 2001, when Narendra Modi was elected as his chief minister, he belonged to a different caste and different community. So there wasn't cozy relations between the community, that was the Patels, and the party, that was the BJP, which is a Hindutva party. So there wasn't a lot of consensus between the two. Andinben Patel succeeded Mr. Modi after he became Prime Minister, but she did not last in office for long. So, in 2014, when the Lok Sabha elections took place and Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India, Andinaben Patel became the CM of Gujarat, but she wasn't able to hold on to that position for long. A partial ejection of Patels to accommodate wider range of caste groups in its tent was the BJP approach under Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, and their national strategy mirrored this Gujarat experiment. So it's saying that ejection is basically to emit something. So to get these Patel in their party as to represent or to become the leaders in Gujarat was a very political step by Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. So here it's saying that BJP tried to accommodate and involve more of Patels in the BJP so that they could stand up as candidates in Gujarat and win the elections, because Patel is the community that is in majority in Gujarat. So that they were expecting that people usually vote to a candidate or a leader who is of their caste. So this was a political play that was played by the BJP in order to win more votes in Gujarat. And this strategy they have even played at the national level, because they support Hindutva, because the majority of the population of India are Hindus and they follow Hinduism. The Patels in turn rebelled against the Modi-Shah axis several times in the last 2 decades. But on the other hand, the Patels did a lot of rebel and protest against the Modi-Shah, this strategy, in the last 2 decades. Mr. Rupani was less than impressive in administrative task or management of the social coalition. So Vijay Rupani, so he wasn't either good at administration or management of social wellness and everything. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed his failures starkly. So the COVID-19 pandemic exposed his incapabilities and his failures starkly, that is, in a very clear and direct way. With the assembly elections looming, the Patels getting more restive, and the Aam Aadmi Party trying to emerge as a more viable opposition than the rudderless Congress, the BJP had to act. And now that the elections were coming and the Patels were again rising against the BJP and the Amit Shah, so the BJP had to take some actions, because the Aam Aadmi Party is also in full go, irrespective of what the Congress does. The Chief Minister designates his first time MLA who was elected from a constituency vacated by Mr. Patel. The change also underscores the high command culture that is now entrenched in the BJP. So underscores basically means to underline. This change in the BJP strategy of what kind of candidates they choose is clearly visible. The return of a Patel at the helm indicates a reversal of BJP's strategy of building coalitions of diverse caste groups under a leader from a marginal caste. So earlier, if you look, BJP used a different strategy, but now it has changed, and now it is getting candidates of the specific caste that is in majority in that specific region in order to win votes in that specific region. So now here it's saying that now we can witness the reversal of BJP strategies. Earlier, if you look, BJP got candidates from specific caste and specific groups, but now if you look, that they are getting candidates from diverse caste and groups. You know why? Because they are getting candidates belonging to the community in the region where that community is in majority, so that when they stand up in the election they get most votes, because generally people vote candidate on the basis of the caste they belong. So this is going to help them a lot, and they are going to win many elections like this. And this whole is being done under a leader from a marginal caste. So here marginal caste refers to PM Modi, because Narendra Modi belongs to a marginal caste and is not of the general category. Mr. Modi projected himself as a backward class leader in 2014, and subsequent choices in leadership at various levels largely followed this trend. So if you look, when PM Modi stood up in 2014 election, he represented or showed himself as a leader who really worried for the marginal caste, that is the backward classes, as he himself belonged to such caste. But now if you look, since 2014, the choices or the strategic planning of BJP has changed a lot, and it has changed at every level, because now what they're doing is they're getting candidates of that specific caste which is majority in that specific region. There have been exceptions, such as Yogi Adityanath, a Rajput who was elected chief minister in Uttar Pradesh. So here it's saying that you can see there are some exceptions, like in BJP they got a person belonging to a high caste, that is a Rajput, and not a person belonging to a marginal caste. Within the party and outside of it, dominant castes have been resenting this, and BJP has now begun to feel the pressure. And even within the party and outside the party, the dominant caste have been resenting. That means they are speaking up, because what they think is things are being done in an unfair manner. And now BJP has begun to feel that pressure, because it is all out in the media and on the social media platforms. When it had to replace veteran warhorse B.S. Yediyurappa, a member of the dominant Lingya community, as Chief Minister in Karnataka, the BJP ensured that his successor was from the same community. So BJP is very much concerned about the community and the background of the leaders that they choose. So here it's an example of B.S. Yediyurappa, that is this man. When he was replaced, they got a member or a candidate that belonged to the same caste as the leader. The ongoing standoff between the party and the Jats farmer in UP and Haryana is also indicative of the tension between the BJP and the dominant social group. But at the same time, you can witness there is a lot of conflict between the ideas and the majority community and the BJP in some states, such as Haryana and UP as well, because of the farm bill that was passed last year. The party's chief minister in Haryana, Manohar Lal Khattar, is facing the heat, and now that all the farmers are uprising, so the current chief minister of Punjab is facing all the trouble and the heat. The communities are bargaining for a bigger share of power in the BJP's Hindutva tent. So candidates and people belonging to different communities and parties and castes are demanding to get a seat in the BJP, because if you look, BJP generally gives its seat to Hindus, and that's why it's called a Hindutva party. The BJP is partially acting under pressure, but it may also be feeling more confident of the support of the marginal communities and poorer section to accommodate its traditional supporters. So although there has been a lot of uprising and demand regarding the seats that are available and the eligibility in the BJP, but at the same time BJP is very much confident of the support it has from the marginal and poorer section of the country, and also it's getting support from the majority groups, as it is electing leaders or standing up candidates which belong to that same community, which is in majority in that portion of that area. So this is how BJP is trying to get its popularity and increasing its power in the country. So that was the article today, and thank you everyone.